Border Control: The Global Struggle to Manage Immigration and Security, written by Marcus Kline, narrated by Sarah Donovan. Chapter 1: A History of Border Control. The concept of borders and the mechanisms for controlling them have evolved significantly over the centuries. In ancient civilizations, borders were often defined by natural features such as rivers, mountains, or deserts, serving as both physical barriers and lines of demarcation between different peoples. These early boundaries were not formalized, but were rather understood as areas of influence, often contested through conflict and warfare. The idea of structured border control, as we understand it today, began to take shape in the medieval and early modern periods, driven by the rise of nation-states and the need to define and protect territorial sovereignty. During the Middle Ages, borders were less about control and more about managing territorial claims. The notion of controlled entry or exit did not exist in a systematic form. Movement was often unrestricted unless imposed by rulers for specific purposes, such as levying taxes or defending against invasions. In many cases, communities lived in relatively open societies where trade and migration flowed with little interference, but this gradually changed as the power of centralized states grew. The establishment of modern border control systems is closely tied to the rise of nationalism in the 19th century. With the emergence of modern nation-states, particularly in Europe, governments began to assert more control over their territories, including defining clear borders and regulating who could enter and exit their countries. The development of passports and identity documents in the early 20th century marked a key turning point in the formalization of border control, as the world became more connected through international trade, travel, and colonization. The need to regulate these movements became a priority for governments seeking to maintain control over both their economies and their populations. The two world wars of the 20th century had a profound impact on the development of border control. Following World War I, the League of Nations was established to promote peace and prevent the kind of instability that could arise from uncontrolled border movements. The post-World War II era saw the further expansion of formalized border control mechanisms, with the creation of international treaties and conventions designed to standardize immigration and asylum procedures. The establishment of the European Union in the latter half of the century also led to...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?